Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I am planning on doing some painting with the Arteza Gouache. I did a review, so now I thought we'd do a painting. I was teaching a class recently and we were doing a galaxy painting, and quite a few of the ladies that did it, their galaxies sort of ended up looking a bit more like geodes because they'd kept them quite contained, and I thought, do you know what, I'd love to try and paint a geode, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I've got the gouache colours. We've got peach red, we've got pearl purple, we've got a violet, Prussian blue, burnt umber and noir, and I've got all of those popped up on my palette there. So what I've got a water based a water pen. I don't have an Arteza one of these yet, but any water pen you've got. And I'm just going to draw a very rough shape of a geode. I have been pinning lots of photos of geodes, so I think if you're going to try that, that's a good idea. And then I'm just going to actually wet that and let that bleed out slightly. So I have had a little practice in my Jane Davenport journal. This is me working on Arteza watercolour. So as I said, I'm just going to, this is me creating the edging of it. Okay, so very similar to Galaxy technique, but a few differences. So we are going to just contain it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add some of the burnt umber in there, because you normally find the edge of a geode is quite dark, so I am popping some, as I said, some burnt umber, and then I will be also adding some of the noir in there as well. Okay, and maybe a tiny bit of the Prussian blue, and then I'm going to keep adding little bits of that burnt umber to give it a natural tone. Now I have got my water really quite heavy there. I'm just going to lift this. I don't particularly want a splodge of it like that. So yeah, I've got lots of water, the same way as I would if I was doing a galaxy, because I am trying to get the movement in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop you on fast forward as I continue to work around the edges, and then I'll pop you back on when we do the explanation. Okay, so that's me painted the outline. Now while this is still really quite wet, I am going to sprinkle some rock salt on. Now I'm being careful just to have it on the edges, because I don't want rock salt going in the centre. I will be putting rock salt in the centre as well, but first of all I want to work the watercolour first. But it's just that if I let this get too dry, the effect won't be as dramatic with what the rock salt does. So we're just going to put that in, and it'll gradually draw up the colour, and that will create us some lovely little sparkles. Okay, so I'm just going to do that there. Okay, so now we're going to do a very similar technique. I'm going to put water almost to the edge of that. I don't want it merging in. I will blend the two elements of it together once everything is dry. But for the minute I'm just wanting to get lots of water on, and the reason we want the water is we want a lot of movement of the paint. So we really want, and this is why it's good to use a good watercolour card. I have to say I am enjoying using this Arteza one. It is proving to be very good, and it's taking it. The reason I've not taped it down is because I am not putting water all the way to the edge of the paper, so it will hold its structure a little bit and not warp as much as maybe it would have done if the water was going all the way to the edges. So so you can see that the water has pulled it in from a few different places, but that's okay because I'm going to be blending it together later. So I've got loads of water in there, and then pretty much as I would do if I was doing a galaxy painting, I am going to start off with my brighter colours first and just get them moving in the water. So this is this fantastic bright pink. I do think this is going to be like my favourite colour in the world. I can see me doing loads of mixed media projects with that because it's just so vibrant. So this will end up being a bit of a background colour, sort of a highlight that will come through the other colours, but we're getting that down first. Okay, so lots of water so that it's doing lots of moving. Same as when we've done galaxy paintings before. Okay, so if you can do galaxy paintings, you can do this. It's just a slightly different way of doing it. So now I'm going to build it up. Now this purple has a pearl in it, which I'm thinking is going to give it a lovely sparkle. So I want to make sure I've got plenty of this. Originally when I thought about doing it, I was going to sprinkle some micas in. I might try that on another project, but I am trying to stay as true to Arteza products as I can in this particular video. I have signed up for the affiliate program. So the links that are below are of this lilac on because it is pearlized paint, and so it is going to really help with that effect that we are trying to create. Okay, so loads and loads of water. Right, and as I said, I'm taking it sort of almost to the edges of those bits, but we will blend all of that together so that it works. But if you actually, as I said, if you are fancying doing this, I would suggest have a little look at pictures of geodes that you like, because it will make a difference. It gives you an idea of colours and where to put them and how they lie. I think working from a reference is always really good. It's not cheating, I'm not copying, I don't have a picture in front of me while I'm painting now. It's just to kind of see how geodes look in real life. Okay, so that's me got my pinks and lilacs in. I'm now going to start building up the darker colours and introducing these. And again, it's that contrast between light and dark that will have a huge impact. Now that's got very watery over there, which is fine, but I'm just going to lift off a little bit of it. I think it's just the way the paper is rolling, so that's fine. That's the thing with watercolours, don't be scared. You can tend to find that if you don't like what you've done, you can lift it up with a bit of tissue, and you can lift the colours off with, you know, a bit of water and stuff as well. So you never have to be afraid that you've made a mistake. It is a very, very forgiving medium to work with, although this is gouache, but gouache does have the properties, as you can see, of watercolour. It moves the same as watercolour would, but it is a bit more opaque, which means we get a really, really nice vibrancy. So I quite often choose watercolour. My watercolours of choice in the past have been quite highly pigmented ones, so gouache seemed like a good idea for me. So now I'm mixing that purple in with the dark blue. I'm still trying to keep those highlights of pink. As I said, we will lose quite a bit of it, but we're maintaining that pop. So this is where we've got the violet and the Prussian blue coming in. It's a gorgeous colour, that Prussian blue. Very, very good one to have as your mix of primaries and stuff. Now I'm going to bring some more of this pearlescent, so you can see how thick that is. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to bring some more of that pearlescent in, because I think that will just really give it that sort of added sparkle. And I think we're probably very close to this part being done. And maybe darken some of those edges with the noir just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it, so just in the darker areas. The thing is with your dark colours recede to the background, which means it makes the brighter colours pop. So the fact that we've got that really, really bright pink in the centre, and then we've gone right out to black on the edges, it just means the whole piece, the piece as a whole will have a lot more drama and a lot more contrast, and that is what will make it work. So I'm just going to emphasise this blue because we've kind of lost that a little bit. Just get that moving. Again, for some reason my paint is sort of paddling to the bottom there, but it's just fine, it's fine. And then I'm just going to emphasise that pink as well. Put a bit more of that on, and actually it's ended up blending on my palette because I've used that much water with the that pearlised lilac. But that's fine. It means that my pink has now become quite pearlised as well, and I think that all looks good. Right, so we are going to do the exact same thing as we did with the outline. Now I am going to put some rock salt on it, and that is what will give us the sort of the fractions and the sparkles that we expect from inside of a geode. So I'm going to grab my rock salt again, trying to do this without spilling it over my entire craft room. I'm going to start off by putting it in those really wet areas because it'll end up picking up some of that water for me. Okay, and then I'm just going to sort of lightly sprinkle the rest of it, and then I'm going to have to leave this to dry. The last one I did, I tried to brush it off before it was completely dry, and I did sort of smudge it all, so do be patient, do let it dry. You can already see that that's soaking up the colours, and I'm pretty sure that if we scrape this salt off when it's all coloured, we could use it in some sort of mixed media project as well. So I am going to leave that to dry, and I will be back with you in a moment for you, and we'll just finish it off. Okay, so I'm back, and this will definitely have dried because it was days and days ago, possibly even a week ago. With one thing and another, I didn't get back when I expected to film. Now I've just realised I've put real dirty finger marks over that, which is not ideal. So right now what I'm doing is brushing this salt off, and we should be left with sort of crystal effects. I'm a bit gutted I've put marks up there, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm just going to tip that off. Okay, and I'll get the rest of that off, and then we'll start with the next stage. Okay, so that's all the salt off. We're almost there. I'm wanting to just do a bit more detailing around the black edges. So the salt's given it a really nice crystallised effect, but I'm just wanting to, as I said, bring that out a little bit around the edges. So again, I'm using that noir that I've mixed with the Prussian blue, and just double check what the brown colour is that I'm using, burnt umber. So I'm just, sorry, it's a few days since I've done it, so I'm just double checking my colour. So I'm just giving that a slightly softer edge, and I'm going to just kind of keep working that now, just so that we don't have such a hard edge, because it's like they're beautifully uneven in real life, aren't they? And so I'm just kind of grabbing some of the edges and working that slightly. Oops, again, these are with my darker colours. So I'll put a bit of the blue in there, which looks quite good. I think I'll tone that down a bit more again with the burnt umber. Okay, and I'm just sort of widening that out. Okay, and I'll just finish doing the rest. Okay, now when you look at geodes, they do have this gorgeous crystallised effect, but they also tend to have this layer that is really quite smooth. So I'm going to try and do that now. I'm just going to put water between the kind of edging of the geode, where we've gone with our darker colours, and with the centre. And I'm just going to put a little bit of water on, and then with the geode colour, so the blues and the purples, I am just going to just fill that so that we kind of create that the smoother layer that they have. So they tend to have this kind of lovely, there's rings, isn't there? And then part of the rings are nice and smooth and part of them are like all crystallized. So that's just kind of what I'm doing here, just adding that smooth layer in and then blending between the two layers. So I'm going to build up the colour. I'm using the purpley colour, which is the violet, and I've got the Prussian blue, because I'm going to stick with the darker colours because you're going to get a little bit of bleeding from that brown and black, so we're just needing to sort of stick with the darker colours so that because I'm putting quite a bit of water on there, but as I said, that's me just creating that smoother layer that you tend to get between them, and it's like always really nice and glossy. So that's that part there. Now I'm just going to work those edges a little bit so that the transition between the smooth layer and the bumpy layer is a little bit more even. It's not quite so contrived. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to dry. I think it's looking really good, and we will move on to the next little bit after that. Quickie glue pen here, and I am just going to try, and I'm not quite sure how how full this is, but the reason I'm using my quickie glue pen is that it dries tacky, and I want to use gilding flakes on this. So again, quite often with geodes they have this lovely sort of gold line, and that is what I am trying to mimic here. So I will just pop you on fast forward while I draw this line round and while I put the gilding flakes on. I have got some gilding flakes here from Indigo Blue. I'm just going to sprinkle those on and then use the little squishy tool, I think it's called, just to pull that off. So as I said, I'll pop you on fast forward while I do all of that. Okay, I love how that turned out. I don't know if you can see that, but we've now got this really delicate gold rim around it. The reason I did that with gilding flakes and not pen is because it was multi-tonal. This had golds and rose golds and bronzes in, and I just thought that would give a more, overall, a better effect. Now what I'm wanting to do now is just, I am going to add some white splashes just to give the centre a bit more sparkle, a bit like I would do if I was doing a galaxy sky, but I don't want it to affect the rim of what we've done. So like as I said, there's always that smooth layer. You don't tend to have that same sort of sparkle in that layer. So I'm just going to go around and protect that, and then we will do some splashes in the centre, and then that is us. So this is really quick and easy. If you don't have gilding flakes, don't worry about it. A wee gold pen would work fine, or even just a pencil, or just something to create that sort of smooth ring feature that you quite often see in geodes. So now I'm just using some of the white, and I am just going to splash that on. I think I need a bit more on my brush. Let's get some white splatters on that. And as I said, that'll just increase the look of the sparkle in the centre of the geode. So I'm sure if we just pull that back now, that we will see the difference that that has made. And then what I will also do is let's just emphasise some of those sparkles. Okay, as my Posca pen's not wanting to play, I'm going to do this with a fine brush. So I've got the white and I'm just going to flick up and down to both sides and then just do a little sparkle like that, and hopefully that will just emphasise parts of the sparkle. It's a bit heavier than I would have liked, but we might get it on that one. There we go. So we've just got a few little sparkles. So that is me. That is how to paint a geode for beginners. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I really do hope you give it a go. If you do, feel free to tag me. Either let me know in a message here or tag me on Instagram at Juliette McNeil Crafts, because I'd love to see what you do. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.